So here we are in the very last moves of Esau Edom, about to make his final move because he knows that the day and the hour, he has a doomsday clock out there, showing you that it's 11:59. So he knows that his time is short. So he's going to come after us, having great wrath. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching the truth and sincerity. And a shout out to Yakim that's out there on four corners of the earth to proclaim this truth. Bracha the Yahweh, Bracha the Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kadosh, Bracha Tum. So, that being said, the greatest of our enemies, are within Israel itself, man. They are totally sold unto Esau. I mean, after all, them 2/3, and of course, just people within that are the ones that sold out Gad and helped Esau to conquer Gad and all his armies, and that is what's happening now. In the essence of you got these shills out there, that not just commenting on your channel, but actually pretend to be among you. You have trolls within your camps. You have people that just pretty much their only reason for being there is to gather information for the enemy. They'll set them up, and we've seen that time and time again. Most of all, though, because Esau knows that he has but a short time. So if he can dissolve this, he's going to use other Israelites that ain't with, the greatest one of all is ain't with confusion of faces, because this is a stumbling block to them. So Esau uses that to his advantage, of course, by putting us up against each other, and most of all, though, it's not me they're coming after, it's Rakal Kadash, and that's why, I put that video up there yesterday, that all sins forgiven except blasphemy of Rakal Kadash, because that's who you're really coming against. You're not really necessarily coming against me, and that's what's going to happen, though, is that it's going to continue, of course. And most of all, these devils love to take advantage of old videos, that are been up there, have already gone out, but they have nothing better to do, because they ain't going up and setting up camp. They wouldn't go in the snow. They wouldn't, come out when there's a fire within that city, burning stuff up. They wouldn't come out there and teach. They wouldn't put on a mask to go out there and teach. They don't even teach during the winter. No, man. They just get on them comment boards and then they just have laughs among each other, making fun of Great Millstone because they allow confusion of faces within their ranks. But yet, confusion of faces go out there and they teach, which is a lot more than you can say for them 2/3, and they are 2/3. Or they just might be Edomites in disguise, And nonetheless, though, I'm just going to read out of the book of Nahum, chapter 1, and we'll start in verse 1. And we know that spiritually, this place, Babylon the Great, America, is a culmination of all the wicked kingdoms there before. So this is talking about Nineveh, which we're in modern day Nineveh, because Babylon the Great, again, is a combination of all the wicked kingdoms. The burden of Nineveh, the book of the vision of Nahum, the Elkoshite. Yahweh is jealous, and the Lord revengeth. The Lord revengeth, and he is furious. The Lord, which is Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, will take vengeance on his adversaries and reserveth wrath for his enemies. So, those that conspire with Esau to come after us, that have conspired to have us killed, to have us, pretty much have our videos taken down, all that, well, the Most High may be slow to anger, because that's what this next verse is about. But think about it. This is going to happen one day, 1 hour. The Lord, thy power, is slow to anger, and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has way in the whirlwind, and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. So that's talking about when the chariots come, and when the whirlwind, which is all these nuclear weapons, are fired against Babylon the Great, the day and the hour. That's why it's slow to anger. because he's reserving them for that day. And especially you 2/3 that conspired with Esau to come after us, you know, you're going to be caught up in this judgment too. Because you got to remember, he's talking to Israel in these scriptures. He didn't write this for the whole world. He wrote this to the Israelites, to the elect of his people, and to the wicked that don't want to repent. This is the judgment that's coming. He rebuketh the sea, and maketh it dry, and drieth up all the rivers. Bashan languished, and Camel, and the flower of Lebanon languisheth. The mountains quake at him, and the hills melt, and the earth is burned at his presence. Now, what's that talk about? Burned. When this place, America, Babylon the Great, is burned right before the very eyes of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. Who can stand before his indignation? Who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? Oh, man. This is the final wrath day he's going to have for all you wicked, you 2/3. There is a judgment that's coming, you know. You want to come up against the men that are going out there and teaching, you know, you are going to be judged just like the Edomites are. Because it tells you time and time again, don't be profane, such as Esau. I believe that's in Romans. But with an overrunning flood, he maketh another end of the place thereof, and darkness shall pursue his enemies. And that's what's happening now. You're seeing more and more stores closing before that day and hour. You're seeing more and more of the military being sent out. You're seeing more practice drills because they're getting the army after next to pretty much fulfill the role while the main armies are going out and fighting that war. It's a never-ending thing because this whole thing is about to come to its end, to the day and hour. What do you imagine against the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai? He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time. That's right, Babylon the Great will never rise up a second time. For while they be folded together as thorns, and while they are drunken as drunkards, they shall be devoured as stubble fully dry. That's right. And all the enemies of Babylon the Great are going to devour her. There is one come out of thee that imagineth evil against the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, a wicked counselor. And who's that talking about? Esau, Edom, the devil, Satan, the adversary. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, though they be quiet, and likewise many yet, thus they shall be cut down when he shall pass through. Though I have afflicted thee, I will afflict thee no more. For now I will break his yoke from off of thee, and will burst thy bonds in sunder. So that's happening now. You know, his chains are no longer upon us, but yet, you know, he no longer has that strong hold on us. The Most High is breaking them off of us. And now these curses are coming upon the Edomites. You know, you see homeless all over here in Redding. It's everywhere you go. And it's happening more to them than it is Jake, because Jake's been in the hood for a very long time and knows how to handle situations. But these Edomites, man, they don't know the first thing about handling a situation. You know, they ain't even fucking coming out here to fucking gather up all the trees and branches, cleaning up the roads. They won't even fucking clean up the roads. You know, from the storm, from the snowstorm, you know, there's trees, branches everywhere. These motherfuckers won't even come out and clean it up. It's still all over the road, fucking everywhere. I should just do a video just showing you that. Maybe I will. Maybe I just might. So give me a chance here. But, man, they won't even fucking clean up. That's how fucking goddamn lazy they are. You know, this place is a fucking shithole, you know. The grinding is ceasing. And these Edomites, man, they fucking deserve it, man. They don't want to fucking work. They don't want to fucking do anything, man. Here it is, the storm has fucking, you know, brought in all this. So you think that the neighborhood will want to get together and try to clean it up. No, man. Too busy fucking sitting on their ass. And the Lord hath given a commandment concerning thee, that no more of thy name be sown out of the house of thy gods. That will I cut off the graven image and the molten image. I will make thy grave, for thou art vile. And that's talking about, you know, all those that still want to worship Caesar Borgia, all those that still want to follow in the ways of Esau. Behold, upon the mountains the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace, O Judah, which is Yahweh in the Hebrew. Keep thy solemn feast. Perform thy vows, for the wicked shall no more pass through thee. He is utterly cut off. So there's going to be a time and a place where those wicked that don't want to repent, they're going to be cut off for good. And they're going to be cut off along with the wicked, that abominable branch, which is talking about Esau, Edom, you know. So, like everything else, though, you know, there's a time and a place, and Esau knows his time is just about up. That's why he's come down having great wrath. And like I said, you know, it's just fucking amazing. I think I'll use the Screencast-O-Matic to catch all that, because it's kind of hard to drive and capture all that. But, well, let me see if I can just step outside for a little bit, and I'll just show you how much they don't want to clean up. And it's everywhere. It's not just on this road, but it's everywhere. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can flip this thing around.